So let's attach a lace waistband around the mesh panty. So I've got the two panty pieces here, the back, the front, and the neck gusset. And this is the fold over lace that I'm gonna do on the legs. So let's move this out of the way. This is a knit lace so that it functions as a waistband, okay? I'm using a small scallop so that the function will work, because if you have a large scallop, you're gonna risk the idea that the scallops may flip over or not hug as you want to. So what I'm going to do, this is a regular waistband on a panty. It's about 2 inches below the belly button. So I want to put another 2 inches on it so it'll come up and be a high waist but have a beautiful soft lay on the tummy. So I'm going to do 2 inches, remembering that this we're going to do 2 1/4 inch seam allowance. So what I'm going to measure is 2 1/4, and I want the scallops of the lace to come right at 1/4 inch. So here's my 2 inches, but I want the scallops of the lace to hit the 1/4 inch mark. And then I'm going to cut my strips for to attach on the front and attach on the back. The first thing I want to do is measure the amount of lace that's going to go on each piece. If I want to stretch and create the hug, I want to think just kind of 85% less measurement. And this is about accurate right here. So if this is the waistband of the front piece, and I've got a measurement here, this is going to be about 85% less. So when I cut this piece, I'm going to stretch it to fit this piece here. Okay, so I'm going to cut it here. This is about 18 inches. But again, using your calculations, just kind of think a typical 85% less in measurement. That's about 2 inches, okay? So that when you pull, you've got a decent amount of stretch. So here's what it looks like. So you've got the panty waistband here, and here's the amount of lace that we're going to stretch across the front piece. So what I'm going to do is right sides together, just fold it down. We're going to do the 4-point pinning for stretch. So let's find the middle of the lace. And let's find the middle of the panty line, the waistline. Okay. So if those of you that are not familiar with this technique, this is balancing out your stretch when you're taking a piece of elastic. This is very common in swimsuits and leg bands, where wrists, cuffs on a bomber jacket or a collar, where you want to balance, and what you're doing is finding the middle points. So here's the middle of the waistband and the lace, and here are the ends. And then you want to take this and stretch it just so it's both flat. Don't overstretch it. Just stretch it enough so that the waistband is flat, and grab that, because there's only one person in the room. And clip there. Find the middle on this side. See, this is what it looks like. Stretch it till you find the middle. Just make sure it's even. And you can see the stretch, how it, and then you want to find the middle again, find the middle again, find the middle again, and find the middle here as well. And then you'll be able to just pull and stretch all along while you're stitching 1/4 inch. So this is what it looks like when you've attached the lace and you stretched it across and got it even. So you can see the stretch. I'm going to stitch on a 3-step zigzag because this is an area of stretch. And I'll start stitching with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And based on the stretch that's in between each pin or clip, you want to pull, make sure it lays flat. Stop. Pull the stretch, make sure it lays flat, and stop. Pull, make sure it lays flat. And based on your balance pinning, when you put your pins on or clips, you should have a nice even stretch all the way across. Okay, so there's the first stitch of the lace. See how that's nice even stretch going across the waistband. So your next step, because this is a mesh and it's, you know, real pretty and see-through, let's do your top stitch on top of the lace. And what I would suggest is, like, you're turning the seam up, do a just lengthen your top stitch. Do the same 3-step stretch, but lengthen it. If it were a 5 zigzag width, take it down to maybe a 2.5, but keep the length at maybe a 10 or 11. So you can have a 3-step zigzag, but it kind of mimics a straight stitch, so you don't have that much to look at. And while I'm stitching it, I'm relaxing the stretch, just like I was doing on the leg band. I'm relaxing the stretch so that it gets even. Just relaxing it a little so I can keep that stretch. So that's what your panty top looks like. You've got a lace attached to the top and you've got the stretch for the fit. So you've increased your side seam. It's going to be more of a high waist, but you're going to have a beautiful lace laying across. And then what you do is continue to make the panty as you normally would. Lay the gusset down and do your side seams and your leg elastic, and you're done. Okay, when you do the side seams, let's just look at that and make sure we line up the seams together. When you put the side seams together, make sure you line them up and have the scallops nice and even.